Hi, I'm Veronique and I'm Head of Pictures here at Dawsons, and this is my colleague Matthew, who's a Senior Valuer and Auctioneer. And we're going to talk about the enduring popularity of Lowry prints.
But which of the Lowry prints are the valuable ones? This is the question, because we get lots of photos of Lowry prints coming in to us to be valued, but only the ones that are signed by Lowry himself are the ones that make the significant amount of money. So we're looking for certain series of prints that were produced in the 60s and 70s while he was still alive, obviously, so you can get the signature on it. And these were limited runs. So when we're looking at these prints, we're looking for these particular paintings that have been reproduced. They would often have a blind stamp on them from the Fine Art Trades Guild, and they will importantly have that pencil signature, usually in the bottom right hand corner, and then on the left hand corner a number. Now this could be, depending on the run of the print, it could be 750. Some of them aren't actually numbered, some of them just have the signature on them, but there are a defined number of prints and a defined number of the paintings that were reproduced that help us authenticate what are the valuable Lowry prints.
As you mentioned, the prints were mainly produced in the 60s and 70s, and Lowry's signature subjects are the industrial scenes that he grew up around and that he lived in, and all the hustle and bustle and the everyday life. And I think that is part of the enduring appeal. And that's, it was a side that perhaps had not been depicted in art before, and was very relatable, and part of why people absolutely love those prints. And if you can't afford to buy an original Lowry oil, then this is a very affordable way of owning a piece of art by Lowry.
So I mean, yes. So the prices for the original paintings are astronomically high. So the opportunity of buying something that has his signature on it and is one of his works of art at such a reasonable price is a great opportunity. Some of the things you would need to look for in valuing a print in general, in fact, it particularly is fading, because prints, just like watercolours, if they're left out in the light, they can fade and the colours can change. So that's the first thing that we will probably look for. Something else we could possibly look for as well with some prints, and this again applies to all prints, is when they are mounted in a frame, but they have a cardboard frame around the outside, a mount. These can react to the paper in the print. So if once it's removed, you can actually see where the previous mounting has been. It affects the value. It's not the end of the world. It is something that can be removed, but it obviously it's an additional cost to a buyer to have the burn removed. Something else that we also can look out for is, if you can imagine a print being in a frame, the frame drops, the glass breaks, you can get damage to the paper from the fragments of the glass. So you do have to look for little things like that, as well as general tears in the paper if the print hasn't been framed. Tears, curls, creases, things like that. We look out for those. They can all affect the value.
That's right. The most popular lithograph by Lowry is Going to the Match, which shows everyone off to a football match, which was the old Bolton Wanderers stadium. And that has steadily increased in value. And I think last year, maybe the world record price was achieved, 34,000 at auction. And you'll see the top maybe 20 prices for Lowry are all Going to the Match.
Yeah.
That's from an edition of 300.
Yeah.
Other popular prints are the monochrome, or the fairly monochrome prints. They are smaller editions of 75, and the coloured ones tend to be 300. So I think that is why they will achieve better prices.
So if you are interested in buying Lowry prints, then always remember that the important parts are the subject, the condition, and the rarity of that print. And if you stick by those rules, then you should hopefully have it in the future, a print that will really hold its own.
If you have a Lowry print that you'd like to have valued for auction, then please get in touch with either myself or Matthew. We'd be really happy to help you.